Not long after these first Acadians arrived, so did Louisiana's Spanish governor, Don Antonio Ulloa. He was not so welcome.
Ulloa was a man of the Enlightenment, a scientist, very progressive, very Spanish.
But to the aristocracy of New Orleans, this quiet intellectual was merely aloof and unsociable. Ulloa's restrictions on free trade inflamed the colonists. Perhaps worst of all, he wasn't French.
There was a vocal group that were asking to be returned to the French monarchy. Many petitions go back to France just after France ceded Louisiana to Spain, asking the French king not to do this, but it was a done deal.
On October 28, 1768, New Orleans businessmen assembled 1,000 disgruntled colonists, supplied with muskets and plenty of good Bordeaux. The drunken mob drove Governor Ulloa from Louisiana, but the party didn't last very long. In 1769, a fleet of 12 Spanish warships arrived in New Orleans under the command of an Irish-born general, Alejandro O'Reilly. Leading an army of 2,000, one-third of the population of the area, O'Reilly offered the rebellious colony a sobering show of force.
O'Reilly was completely a military man. He had enforced the barbaric punishments that the military code required for soldiers and sailors, and so it shouldn't be a surprise that he executed 5 of the people who had been responsible for ejecting Ulloa. That constituted treason.
Louisiana's revolt against the Spanish crown quickly died, but it was a sign of the greater age of revolutions that was just beginning.
Revolutions put Louisiana on the map of international affairs. The American Revolution brought for the first time worldwide attention to the lower Mississippi Valley.
Unrest was brewing in the British colonies. When the American Revolution came, Spain saw an opportunity to strike a blow at an old enemy, the British. Leading Louisiana into battle was a brash Spanish general named Bernardo de Galvez.
Galvez was only 29 when he came to Louisiana, and it was at the time when the American Revolution was going on, and the Spanish had a secret treaty with the Americans to fight the British.
It is the decision of His Majesty that the principal objective of his arms in these dominions is to drive the English from the Gulf of Mexico and the banks of the Mississippi. Martin Navarro, Chief Financial Officer, Spanish Louisiana.
Galvez and his men first took the English fort at New Richmond, which is present-day Baton Rouge. From there, he drove British forces out of Louisiana and captured the entire Gulf Coast and Florida. Louisianians like General Galvez played an important role in the founding of the United States. But the American Revolution was not won solely by military heroes. Armies need supplies, and often it was the New Orleans merchants who provided them. Businessmen like Oliver Pollock.
Oliver Pollock is sometimes known as the forgotten patriot of the American Revolution. He was passionately committed to the rebel cause. The gunpowder that won the American victory at the Battle of Saratoga came from Oliver Pollock in New Orleans.
While Americans were planting the seeds of a new nation in the East, Louisiana matured and blossomed under the care of orderly Spanish governors.